Hello, friends. Have you ever wondered why two of India's greatest freedom fighters, Mahatma Gandhi and Bhagat Singh, followed such different paths? Why did one preach non-violence while the other believed in a revolution? But before that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. So let's start the video. Great men of all generations have been anxious about improvement of the lot of human beings, but how to realize it remains a formidable task for every age. Even though the goal is similar, the means to achieve the goal can differ. And this difference in approach can generate a lot of controversy. This is precisely what happened between the Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Bhagat Singh, the two great statesmen of modern India. As a result, Bhagat Singh has been ranked as a rival of Mahatma Gandhi. It has been held in some quarters that while Gandhi was the son of nationalism, around which all the planets of the Indian National Congress revolve, Bhagat Singh was a star that pursued an orbit of its own. The revolutionary contributed a great deal in their own way towards the freedom of the country. Although they could not penetrate deeply into the hearts of the masses, they certainly infused in them a sense of patriotism and a determination to drive out foreigners from their soil. This spirit alarmed the British bureaucrats. Even those who were opposed to their ideology and methods praised them for their love of motherland and the heroic way in which they faced the gallows and an extremely hard life in the jails, while denouncing their cult of violence. Even Mahatma Gandhi, an apostle of the non-violence, unhesitatingly appreciated their feelings of intense patriotism and their willingness to sacrifice their all for the emancipation of their country from foreign yoke. Among martyrs who willingly traded the thorny path with courage and faced the gallows with fortitude, the name of Bhagat Singh shines as a star. He is rightly called the Prince of Martyrs. Bhagat Singh stated the truth when he said, "You can kill individuals, but not the ideas. Great empires crumble, but the ideas survive." He wanted India not only to be free, but also a sovereign socialist republic of workers and peasants. In a leaflet thrown in the Central Assembly Hall, he declared, "We dream of a glorious future when men will be enjoying perfect peace and full of liberty." But the sacrifice of few individuals at the altar of the great revolution that will bring freedom to all, rendering the exploitations of men by men impossible, is inevitable. After the bold act of throwing bombs in the Central Assembly instead of escaping from the spot, which was not a difficult task for them, they stood there like a rock, raised revolutionary slogans, threw leaflets around and willingly, counter arrest Inqilab Jindabad. The echo of the slogan raised the Bhagat Singh throughout the proceeding of the Delhi Assembly bomb case by him and Batukeshwar Dutt was heard in each and every part of the country. This endeared them to the nation, and Bhagat Singh became a symbol of nation to be honored and emulated by the youths of India. British government was conscious of the fact that its image was tarnished by the one-sided trial in the assembly case. Bhagat Singh and the Bhattu case showed that in order to improve the plight of political prisoners in the Indian jails, commenced a hunger strike in Miawali and Lahore jail, respectively. He and his comrades were able to win the sympathy and support of the people for this noble cause. In the Legislative Assembly, Pandit Motilal Nehru criticized the government's policy towards the under trials in the Lahore conspiracy case. Jawaharlal Nehru also expressed his concern and visited the two jails of Lahore during the trial of Lahore conspiracy case. Bhagat Singh disseminated his views frankly and fearlessly. Besides explaining the philosophy of revolutionary, he drew attention of the public towards the unjust action of the government. He was successful to a great extent in achieving both. Crowds gathered to watch the proceeding in the courts. At the main gate, a large number of students of schools and colleges will always gather to witness the proceeding. The huge youth crowd would sing patriotic songs like "कभी वो दिन आएंगे कि जब हम आजाद होंगे, वतन पर मरने वालों का यही बाकी निशान होगा" and like "सरफरोशी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है." Such popular outbursts, were also witnessed in almost all the cities of the country. Undoubtedly, at the time, Bhagat Singh was the most popular figure of the nation. The verdict of death passed on Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, and Rajguru virtually shook the nation. In his speech at Allahabad, 5 days after the sentence was passed, Jawaharlal Nehru said, whether he agreed with Bhagat Singh or not, his heart was full of admiration for the courage and self sacrifice of Bhagat Singh. A man of his type is exceedingly rare. If the Viceroy expects us to refrain from admiring this wonderful courage and high purpose behind it, he is mistaken. Let him ask his own heart what he would have felt if Bhagat Singh had been an Englishman and acted for England. Bhagat Singh did not associate himself with a plea of mercy made on behalf of most of the accused to the Privacy Council. In fact, during the entire period between the order of the death sentence, October 7, 1930, and his execution on March 23, 1931, he always opposed this idea of submission of an appeal of mercy. The government felt that submission of the plea of mercy would defer the execution and apprehended popular demonstration during this period. Punjab government was reluctant to prohibit such meetings since it would have be required to enforce it only with a series of clashes with the police. In this view, while allowing a local government to follow a uniform policy, keeping in view of local conditions, the latter were also authorized to prohibit meetings in sympathy with the convicts in case they felt it to be appropriate. Till 23 December 1930, there was no violent incidents in the aftermath of death sentence to Bhagat Singh. But on that, two students fired 6 shots at a governor of Punjab who had come to address the convocations at Punjab University. One of the assassins committed suicide just after firing, while the other was arrested. The governor suffered minor injuries. On January 26, 1931, Mahatma Gandhi was released from the jail. In the beginning, he was reluctant to talk with the viceroy, but on February 14, he declared to talk with the Lord Irwin for a compromise which commenced on February 17. 5 days before these talks, the Secretary of State for India telegraphically informed the viceroy that Judicial Committee of the Privacy Councils had heard the appeal of mercy and had decided to recommend its dismissal to the king. In view of the prospects of the compromise with Gandhi acting on behalf of Congress, the British government decides to defer the execution of Bhagat Singh and his two associates. On February 14, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya appealed to the viceroys for mercy in the case of Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev, and to commute the death sentence into the transportation for life. According to him, their lives should be spared not only on grounds of humanity, but also in view of the fact that their actions was not promoted by any personal or selfish considerations, but by a patriotic impulse. Moreover, the executions would be a great shock to the public, and the commutations in countries would have a very beneficial effect on it. The leaders and the public continued to make similar appeals. On February 18, the public submitted a memorandum to Viceroy arguing the trial was not held according to the ordinary form of law before an ordinary court of law, but was conducted an expert in the absence of the accused by an extraordinary court of law. After the judgment, the accused were not permitted to appeal to the High Court. Sardar Kishan Singh was not allowed to produce, documentary and oral evidence to disprove the story regarding the murder of Saunders. It appealed for the commutations of the death sentence. On February 17, 1931, Mahatma Gandhi discussed this matter with the Viceroy. According to Gandhi, he told the Viceroy, this has no connections with our discussion and it may even be inappropriate on my part to mention it. But if you want to make the present atmosphere more favorable, you should suspend Bhagat Singh execution. The Viceroy expressed his gratefulness to Gandhi for putting the matter in such a manner, saying, commutation for sentence was a difficult thing, but suspensions could be considered. While praising Bhagat Singh's bravery, Gandhi said that in his opinion he was not in the right frame of mind. He then referred to the evil of capital punishment, which did not give any opportunity to such a man to, reform himself. He was therefore putting the matter on humanitarian grounds and desired suspension of sentence in order to avoid unnecessary turmoil in the country. The disappointment of the public was shared by Subhash Chandra Bose and few other leaders of the Congress. A few young enthusiasts of the Congress distributed pamphlets asking Gandhi as to how can there be a peace when a sentence of death is hanging over the heads of patriots. On March 7, addressing a mass meeting of over 50,000, Gandhi pointed out that 2 days before he had signed a provisionary temporary settlements with the viceroy, which in no way can be called a peace treaty. He besieged the young men to have a courage, patience, and reason, in case the old men had a bungles and were guilty of weakness. The youth should force him to, abdicate and assume the reins themselves. He then explains that throughout the negotiation, he was not acting on his own way, but was backed by the whole working committee of Congress. As a negotiator of provision trust, the pledge of truth, non-violence, and boundaries of the justice were not forgotten by him. He requested the youth to stand by the settlements and secure the release of the prisoner. In his speech on March 10, Nehru, throwing light on the efforts made by the Congress to release Bhagat Singh, said that if in asking for the release of Bhagat Singh, Congress had demonstrated obstinacy, he would perhaps have been hanged by this time. If Bhagat Singh is alive, well then, it was because of Mahatma Gandhi's effort. And if he other prisoners guilty of violence were released, it would be due to the Mahatma Gandhi's effort. On hearing this news about suspension, Bhagat Singh felt somewhat worried. He was not inclined to pass his days anymore in the dingy cells. The sooner he embraced that, it was better for him. Moreover, he had no faith in Gandhi and his cult of non-violence and the Congress. In the next meeting, Viceroy informed Gandhi about his considering in the case of Bhagat Singh with the most anxious care, but he was not able to find any grounds on which he could justify